The boy suddenly turned around and found a huge crocodile staring at him. He saw his opponent open his 7-foot steel teeth. He was shocked and trembled. The scissors in his hand slipped and triggered the crocodile's hunting instinct. Fortunately, he climbed on the wire pole in time to avoid being torn to pieces. But the crocodile didn't give up. It kept swinging its tail and hit the wood. And in the face of such a rough whip, the wire pole still couldn't hold it and began to tilt. Fortunately, the boy tried his best to climb to the top of the wire pole. Just holding this life-saving straw, the crocodile's attack did not slow down but became more powerful. The boy's heart was instantly raised to his throat. He knew that the wood would fall sooner or later. He opened his arms and held his breath. He decided to walk past the wire pole in front of him and look for a way to escape. He fell directly into the crocodile's mouth. But this little meat wasn't enough for the crocodile to suck its mouth. He slipped into the wedding scene in a hurry. When he heard the sound of a hand-pulling sound from the bottom of the table, the cook thought someone was eating. He wanted to eat a lot of food, to look at the crocodile's tail. But he was dragged under the table and swallowed by the crocodile. And this is a couple of newlyweds who are still in love with each other. And as a result, the sound of the words just fell, and the groom was choked by a tail. And then the evil suddenly rushed out of the tent and attacked the guests on the spot. And the panic-stricken people still want to run away, but the crocodile doesn't give them a chance at all. In an instant, he swallows half of the people in the crowd. But why would a fierce crocodile appear in the original quiet town? It's all because of a rich man in town. He bought a crocodile from Africa to cure cancer, but he didn't expect the train to be attacked by a burglar on the way to transport it, and opened the cage to imprison the crocodile, and then thought the man was trying to escape. But he was caught by the crocodile and bit him mercilessly. At that time, the passengers did not dare to eat, except for a guard, who secretly took out his gun and was ready to give the crocodile a fatal blow, but was bitten by the crocodile, and the crocodile was furious. Enjoy the self-sufficiency of a full car until the roar in the car was gone, and the police force arrived at the scene. After seeing the fear of the crocodile, they immediately found the local famous hunter and put the old rice chicken in the river, intending to lure the crocodile to appear and take the opportunity to catch it. However, when everyone was waiting for the boat, the crocodile quietly climbed onto the land and began to bite the people crazily. Fortunately, the hunter arrived in time to stop and pulled out the head of the crocodile, shot on the spot. After a life-and-death struggle, the fierce crocodile was successfully subdued. But what shocked the bald head was that the crocodile was not the one at the wedding. Then he led his apprentice to explore the crocodile's nest and found a few fresh crocodile eggs, but when they were about to pack them away, there was a sudden roar behind them. Slowly flashed out a huge sound to see a crocodile slowly swim back to the nest. The two of them suddenly sneaked into the water to hide, but the crocodile still showed a dangerous breath. The bald head rushed straight to the face and ran after a life-and-death chase. The apprentice closed the door in time and was lucky to escape. Then the bald head immediately called the police to surround the scene, and the crocodile disappeared. Without a trace, when everyone was drowning, the apprentice suddenly appeared in the light and planned to use the caught crocodile to lure the crocodile to appear. Who knew that the detective secretly gave the crocodile to the county mayor's son in order to raise his salary? He was ready to eat a lot at the wedding scene and saw that the crocodile was about to be stewed into meat. The bald head immediately led his apprentice to sneak into the wedding scene to steal the crocodile, but was caught by the guards on the spot. Not only was he stuffed into the water tank and tortured, but he was also put into the prison hall and released. And the villagers who did not know about this were still hiding at the wedding scene. The crocodile, however, jumped straight into the middle of the banquet with a loud voice when it came to the door. After smelling the scent of his wife, the crocodile was so angry that he decided to make everyone pay a painful price. With a loud laugh, the crocodile completely turned on the burst mode and began to open a crazy bite to the villagers, who had no iron in their hands. And the bad-looking guard tried to shoot back, but the crocodile was completely immune to the bullet and swallowed a few guards on the spot. The county mayor hurriedly climbed into the table and hid until he heard his son's horrible scream. He rushed out of the yard regardless of everything. Looking at his son's crazy chase, he quickly picked up the cruel crocodile and smashed it. But not only did he not cause any harm, but he also killed himself and the bald hunter, who had successfully escaped. Finally arrived at the wedding scene, looking at the pitiful scene in front of him, he decisively raised his long gun and flew towards the crocodile's neck. Unexpectedly, he was thrown 10 meters away by a tail and ran around the crocodile's body with his bare head. Finally, with the help of his apprentice, he successfully subdued the crocodile and drew a perfect end to this crisis. From then on, the villagers lived a peaceful and happy life.